Okay, hocus pocus.
Everybody focus.
Today we are traveling to two locations. The first one is the Grand Canyon. What is it?
The Grand Canyon.
And the second one is the Golden Gate Bridge. While I get my microphone, I want you thinking if you know where either one of those locations are. Be thinking about it. Raise your hand if you think you know. If you think you know where the Golden Gate Bridge is, or if you think you know where the Grand Canyon is. River.
The Golden Gate Bridge is in California.
It is. The Golden Gate Bridge is in California. Emerson?
Grand Canyon's in Arizona, and the Golden Gate Bridge is in San Francisco.
Ooh, specifically it's in San Francisco. So I did want to pull this. I'm going to bring you guys along with me because we have our fun little map in the classroom. And let's see here. On our map, let me see if I can get this positioned so they can see it fine without me having to hold it. Probably not. Okay, so on our map, you guys can see this too. We have Mount Rushmore that we forgot to place yesterday. Who can remind me where Mount Rushmore is located? Miss Madison. You just got back from there. It's right above Nebraska. South Dakota, Mount Rushmore's up, and it's in the southwest corner of South Dakota. Grand Canyon, we decided, is located where? Miss Braylon. Arizona. It's kind of, yeah, like I'm going to put it kind of up in that corner, and we'll learn more specifically where it goes. And the next one was the Golden Gate Bridge, which is located where, Keegan? San Francisco, California. So we're going to read more about those today, but I wanted you guys to get a chance to see kind of our colorful map because we've located the Everglades. We didn't have a felt tip for that, but we did have the Space Center was down in Florida, the Statue of Liberty up in New York. We live in the southeast corner of Nebraska, Mount Rushmore, the Grand Canyon, and the Golden Gate Bridge, and we'll keep adding to this as we go. But for now, we better start our reading. So, I would like you to follow along with me as I read about the Grand Canyon. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
The Grand Canyon. Why do you think we call the place shown below the Grand Canyon? A canyon, say that word for me,
Canyon.
is a deep, narrow valley with steep sides. Grand means large. The Grand Canyon is certainly large. It is 277 miles
Long.
and 1 mile
Deep.
Many people visit the Grand Canyon just to see it. Some hike or ride mules down to the bottom. Do you guys know what mules are?
Yes.
Gunner?
Mules are like.
What's that?
A mule's kind of like a donkey.
It's totally like a donkey. And so they do these mule rides because it's not super easy to walk down on your own. So they ride the mules down instead. It's a little faster and easier. A river runs along the bottom of the canyon. The Grand Canyon is in the state of
Arizona.
And then they're giving us some of those directional words. We're saying Arizona is
East
of the Pacific Ocean. It is west of the Mississippi River. Do we live near a river? We talked about this a little bit yesterday.
Yes.
There's that river that I have to cross every morning on our Nebraska border.
It's the Missouri.
It is the Missouri River. We live very near the Missouri River. Is there another river that if you ever drive to Omaha, you cross it? It means flat, but it starts with a P. Anybody else know that really big river? Every time that you drive to Omaha, you cross over this river, and you might see people with fan boats out on it. It's really sandy and flat. Braylon? The Platte River is very close to us. Very good. Nice work. I did want you to kind of see this because you guys, the Grand Canyon, it is so cool looking. Oh, it looks like you were not supposed to just start going. That's I didn't know that. She's got a mind of her own today. Isn't that cool, guys?
Yeah.
Does anybody remember how deep
1
that
mile.
is? A whole mile deep. So if you think about that, we've got that big track out back. That's 4 laps around the track going straight down. It's a long ways, right? A mile doesn't sound very long until you really picture that and you think about how big that is. That's very deep. Real?
Some people also go river rafting
Oh yeah.
in the river thingy, and they usually ride on their mothers or horses, and their fathers are donkeys.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Does anybody remember the second location we were traveling to today? Skylar?
Golden Gate Bridge.
The Golden Gate Bridge. Here it is.
San Francisco.
Here it is. The Golden Gate Bridge is very iconic. That means that people really recognize it for the way that it looks. It's pretty much it's like a suspension bridge, and it means that these cables are suspending and holding the bridge up, but it's known for that swoopy look, right?
Yeah.
The bridge has all those swoops and the cables that are holding up the bridge down below. It's very long, and we're going to read about it a little bit here now, okay?
Have 3 structures.
You ready to read with me?
Yeah.
Oh, if I can get it lined up so you can see it, that might help, you know. The Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge crosses the entrance to,
San Francisco.
oh, not just San Francisco, but San Francisco
Bay.
Bay. The Pacific Ocean is west of the bridge. The bridge opened in,
1937.
and at that point, it had the tallest towers, and they're talking about these, of any bridge in the entire world.
Whoa.
That's kind of a big deal. So this bridge is not just iconic for how it looks, but it was also iconic because it was kind of groundbreaking, like it set a record when it was built. The city of San Francisco is on the south end of the bridge. So do you suppose this bridge runs north and south or east and west?
North and south.
It runs north and south, actually. And so what it does is it connects this way, is the way that people drive. And they're saying San Francisco's down here. And then the Pacific Ocean, if this is California,
Right
Pacific
along
Ocean
the
is
border.
right here.
Right along the border.
So people drive from San Francisco to other parts of California over this bridge. Do we live near any famous bridges,
No.
Braylon?
Royal Gorge,
Where's that at?
Colorado.
Oh, so that's not too far away, the Royal Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
If you have been to South Dakota to see Mount Rushmore, there's these famous, they're called the pigtail bridges. And they're called pigtail bridges because they do these little like curly Q things, like you drive kind of down in a spiral.
Yep.
And there's 2 that overlap, and so it looks kind of like a curly pigtail.
I've been
Savannah?
down in Iowa when we were in Okoboji. We drove through a blue thing that looked like the Golden Gate Bridge and a red one.
Yeah, and actually that blue one I think is newly repainted because it was really bright blue, right? I just drove on that one not too long ago too. Hadley?
I've seen it. How did the animals get down the thing?
So burros, that's actually kind of what they're used to. A lot of times people take burros or donkeys to do like big mountain hikes and things like that. Their hooves are just really sturdy and they're really sure-footed to be able to go down. They do not go straight down. They kind of like, if we're going back to that Grand Canyon picture, instead of going straight down, what they do is they would go like kind of zigzagging down. And they kind of find little paths so that it's not quite so steep for them. Good question. Madison?
I think it was South Dakota or Yellowstone, but we were crossing this bridge. It was Yellowstone. And we were crossing this bridge and we saw, we got to see water flow from
Very cool. I'm going to pause this because we're going to need to read our summary. Okay, let's go ahead and read the summary. Ready? Let's read this one all together. And I can zoom in a little. I really can't zoom in more. Ready? There are many interesting places in the United States. Maps help us to find states and the places within them. Think about the places you have just read about. Which ones would you like to visit? I want you thinking about your favorites. So we traveled to the Grand Canyon, the Golden State Bridge, Mount Rushmore, and the Everglades. Those are the only four
And
that those are the only four that we've, oh, and the Statue of Liberty.
yeah.
Excuse me, 5. Those are the only 5 that we've officially learned about and traveled to. So I only want you to stand up for your favorite one, and you guys can do this at home too. So there's the Statue of Liberty, the Everglades, Mount Rushmore, the Grand Canyon, and the Golden State Bridge. Stand up if you would most like to travel to the Statue of Liberty. Okay. Stand up if you would most like to travel to the Everglades. Oh, okay. Stand up if you would most like to travel to Mount Rushmore. That's a really likely one. Good. Stand up if you would most like to travel to the Grand Canyon. Oh wow, a lot of you guys, huh? And stand up if you would most like to go to the Golden Gate Bridge. Very cool. Let's go ahead. We're going to map out how long it takes us to get to the Grand Canyon and how long it takes us to get to the Golden State Bridge. And then we can talk about, if you chose one of those, how long would it take you to get there?